Welcome back. We are sitting here now talking to one of the business owners here in Toronto, Christopher Hudspeth. He owns Pegasus on Church Street. We'll give you all the info on that in just a minute. Welcome, Christopher.
Thank you.
You've been in the service industry for a long time.
Just a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you've not recently bought a little while ago bought Pegasus.
Almost 3 years.
What's the difference between when you first started in the industry, in the gay community, and today?
12, 13 years ago when I started on Church Street, it was a different scene. People felt more necessary to be at the bars. They had to find places that were safe places for the queer community, and the bars were one of them. Nowadays it's changed with assimilation. We have young people who can go many places throughout the city and feel quite safe. So now we see a change, and probably some more of the heterosexual community is now coming out. Sometimes it's a novelty, sometimes it's just that they're comfortable and it's local.
Well, yeah, because the years ago, we would always say, "Oh, I wish the rest of the world would include us, and it would be inclusive and love, and everybody should get along, and it's not an issue." And now we're certainly in that territory. But it's almost careful what you wish for, in a way, because you sort of lose a queer identity. Not that I don't think it should change, it should go back by any stretch, but we have to adjust to that.
Yeah, no, I think it's true. I mean, some of our identity gets lost. The next generation won't understand exactly what the generations before them did and put up with and fought for in order to be accepted the way they are today. I'm certainly happy to be alive in this day and age, and would never have believed we'd be where we are today.
No.
Assimilation in that way is great, and I'm really happy for it. But it does change the nature of business, and we have to change with it. And I'm happy to be making those changes, because it just means we're in a good place as a community.
So you own a bar called Pegasus.
Yes, Pegasus on Church.
Pegasus on Church. Give us the feel of the bar.
Pegasus on Church is a local. I think of it that way. Has a little bit of everything. We have 4 professional-sized pool tables. We have buzz time trivia on the television screens. We have lots of other games, darts, pinball machines, things like that. Things for people to do, as well as, hang out and meet new people, hang out with your friends.
And I had Demand Attention here.
Yes.
She was my first guest, actually, on the show, and crazy, she cracks me up. And she does a couple of things for you there, and so it really does include the entire community.
Yeah, no, Demand is, we consider Demand our house queen, and she hosts bingo, Ghetto Glam Bingo on Tuesday nights, and does a great job with that. Has a lot of fun, and we give away some fun and
filthy prizes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you're also on a lot of community boards.
Yeah.
Tell us about, particularly the police one. I wanted to
I think it's important to get involved in the community in whatever way you can. I sit on our local BIA, which is the Business Improvement Area. Because of that, I represent the BIA to the Toronto Police Service on their LGBT Community Consultative Committee. The CCC, or the Community Consultative Committee, came out of the days of the Pussy Palace raids, which were the raids on a bathhouse that was having a women's night. There was an agreement made after the end of the Pussy Palace raids to have a representation from the LGBT and queer community to the Toronto Police, so that the senior command then had some direct lines with the community. We do all kinds of things, from advising the senior command through to putting on events. We recently have done a Coffee with the Cops on Church Street, which allows the police and people to interact while the police buy them coffee. And it's a nice time to for the community to get to speak to police that work within their community about issues that they have concerns about. We also put on a Let's Talk program at the 519 Community Center recently on trans issues and policing. This helps get the issues that are happening in the community to the police and to the senior command so that some changes can take place.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. You know, once you learn more, you do better, right? So that's for on their side, the police side, but also on our side. We've got to open our hearts and our doors to them, and they've got to do the same.
You know, it's simple as you know, the police coming to the committee and talking about language. You know, what's acceptable language and what's not, and why is it acceptable for you and I to use words that the police can't use? And that was great. That's now a part of basic training for all police officers in Toronto. And it was just based on language.
Yeah.
You know, lists of words, and they're constantly updated and revised because language changes. Mm-hmm. And they do this with various communities, but with the LGBT community it was very important because, you know, the names I call you or you call me, you know, they're acceptable between us. But if an officer was using them, it wouldn't be. Yeah.
Well, because they're in a position of power, so it comes across differently, whether they mean it differently or not. That's not
Absolutely.
how it's, you know, taken in. Do you find that the sort of thoughts that there's an inherent homophobic sort of thing going on within the police force, is that a big thing? Is that breaking down?
Oh, I think it's far breaking down compared to where it has been. I mean, I don't think we would see things like the bathhouse raids happening today.
Oh, good.
That
got something to do later.
That ever happened. You know, but we have to continue to work with them in order that those things don't take place. Mm-hmm. You know, it's nice now when the police are coming to us to talk about the problems that they're having and how can we work together to solve them.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Christopher.
Hey, you're welcome.
For coming out. Please come on out into Pegasus. We'll be there later. We're there every night. Just come in. You'll see us. Thanks so much for stopping by. And let's go.
Thank you.
Let's drink all night.
Absolutely.